The other council members coming, like.
Microphone. I'd like to call the regular meeting of the Ione City Council Tuesday, March 5th, 2024 to order. Janice, can I get a roll call?
Councilmember Atlan,
Here.
Councilmember Mitchell,
Here.
Mayor LaFane.
Here.
We have Councilmember Rhodes out tonight. Sick. And is Diane Ratton?
She's stuck in traffic. Okay. I'd like to move closed session to the end. Can I get a motion to?
Second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Should I read it out first, Andy? What closed session is?
At the end.
We'll do that.
No, do I need to read it out? I don't need to read it out, do I? Okay. Would you all join us for Pledge of Allegiance?
One nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Can I get a motion for approval of the agenda?
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, we're going to move on to item D, presentations and announcements. Number 1, swearing in of new Ione Police Officer Alondra Novoa.
Thank you, Mayor LaFane. And City Council, Mayor LaFane. This mic is terrible. If you move it, it goes off. Thank you for allowing us tonight to take time for these presentations. First, I'd like to ask Officer Novoa and Corporal Andriola to come up front with me. There's one, there's two. Yeah, right there's fine. So Officer Novoa comes from us from the Delta College Police Academy. She graduated in January of 2022. Officer Novoa is a mother of one child and is joined tonight by her parents. Right there. Tonight, Officer Novoa will take the oath of office to be Ione's newest police officer. Along with Officer Novoa, Officer Andriola, who's standing next to her, has been with the Ione Police Department since August of 2022. He started his career with the King City Police Department in March of 2015. He worked for King City for 3 years and went to Marina PD in December of 2018. The Ione Police Department was fortunate to recruit Officer Andriola. He's a city resident. Tonight, Officer Andriola is being promoted to corporal. So Janice, could you please come up to administer the oath of office?
Okay, can you each raise your right hand? And then you'll repeat after me. I state your name. Do solemnly swear that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States
Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of California
and the Constitution of the State of California
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
against all enemies,
that I will bear true faith and allegiance
That I will bear true faith and allegiance
to the Constitution of the United States
to the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of California,
and the Constitution of the State of California.
that I take this obligation freely
That I take this obligation freely
without any mental reservation
without any mental reservation
or purpose of evasion,
or purpose of evasion.
and that I will well and faithfully
And that I will well and faithfully
discharge the duties
discharge the duties
upon which I'm about to enter.
on which I'm about to enter.
Very good. Thank you, guys.
Can I have the family please come up?
Perfect.
Oh, we're on the back.
That may be a little tricky.
You need another, I got a spare.
So one more round of applause for Officer Navoa and congratulate Corporal Andriola.
Thank you.
Tonight, I'm honored to present the John Stewart Heart of the Lion Award to Sue Chase. Sue, will you please come up front?
Yeah.
Sue began volunteering for the Ione Police Department in July of 2017. She works every Friday morning in the office and has only missed 4 days since starting. Yeah, it's pretty amazing. I mean, every Friday she is here. Sue processes reports and paperwork for the DA, court, probation, CPS, APS, animal control, and allied agencies. In addition to office work, Sue works most of the special events as well. That includes homecoming, the Preston Castle Hunt, and various parades in the city. Sue volunteers an average of 900 hours a year to the police department. That is something to be proud of. Sue, it's an honor for me to present you the Heart of the Lion Award. Professionalism, dedication, and service are a true reflection of your commitment to the department and the citizens of Ione. These qualities which you have displayed reflect well upon the members of the Ione Police Department and display the example set before us by Officer Stewart. Congratulations. Okay, we got a couple more to go.
We're good. No hurry.
So on October 30th, 2023, the city of Ione experienced a horrible tragedy that rocked the community, the city, and the police department. During this horrific event, many first responders arrived to support and assist the police department. Tonight, I would like to thank two individuals who went above and beyond during this incident. Officer McEwen, could you please come up front? Nope, it went off again. And Graham Morgan Damiano. Cedar Creek Officer McEwen was one of the first responders to arrive at the homicide scene. He assisted in apprehension of the suspect, clearing the residence, and starting a crime scene log. Officer McEwen stayed on the crime scene until resources arrived to relieve him. He was gone from the city for a prolonged period of time. Jim, I want to personally thank you for your dedication and service to the city of Ione.
Thank you, Chief.
Graham Morgan Damiano was actually a corporal with the police department during the incident. He was a vital part of the investigation and follow-up on every lead that came into the police department. And when I say every lead, I mean every lead. We received leads from various parts of the state, and he was asked to follow up on every single one of them, no matter what the lead was. I mean, we got some pretty interesting stuff that came in. I want to personally thank Gabe Warner Damiano for your service to the city of Ione and the police department. So, you guys want
Want to do it?
that? Sure. Do it
Okay,
together.
Let's do it. No, let's do it together. Where do you want?
Whichever way you want to face.
Okay. Thank you. No, we're close. We're close to that.
We are now.
Yeah, no. This is still going on social media.
Hey, stranger things have happened.
Yeah.
Okay, we need to get a new microphone for up here. Just saying, third time it's gone off. On October 30th, tragedy was a horrible time for the citizens, the city of Ione and the police department. We are here tonight to honor and recognize the service of first responders who responded to this tragedy. There are three members of the Ione Police Department who not only went above and beyond, but also showed distinguished service during this incident and throughout the investigation. I want to ask Sergeant Scroy. Corporal Andriola. And Officer Campbell to join me up front. These three peace officers worked many hours of overtime, giving up their time with their family and friends, and worked very long days. The initial crime scene was spread over a large area from West Marlette to Shakely, where the three officers in front of you processed, collected evidence, and took the lead in the investigation. I think the community thinks police officers are exempt from feelings and traumas from events like October 30th. This could not be farther from the truth. Not only was this a blow to the community, but to the three standing in front of you, did their jobs with distinguished service, and each had to relive the horrible events of October 30th repeatedly during the investigation. Tonight, I am honored to award each officer the Police Distinguished Service Medal. The Police Distinguished Service Medal is for service and may be awarded to employees who distinguish themselves by performing exceptional service in a duty of great responsibility or critical importance to law enforcement. Not only did each of the three officers show distinguished service, but this was the first time all three had handled a crime of this magnitude. Sergeant Scroy? Should have taken him out. And here's your certificate as well. Corporal Andriola? I actually prepped all these beforehand. It's still pain. Brian Campbell. So since Brian's standing here right now, I'd also like to point out that Brian is not a full-time police officer. Brian is a reserve police officer with us. And that says a lot for what he did during this incident, giving up the time with his family and his full-time job to be here to serve the citizens of Ione. Brian? So if every time you move it, it will go off. I want to thank the council and the city for supporting the police department. I understand Mayor LaFane has been working with the Owens family on a memorial bench. The Ione Police Foundation would like to fund this project. Thank you, and congratulations to our new and promoted staff and the recipients tonight.
Thank you.
You.
Take you outside.
That's awesome. Huh? That's awesome. Well, now I'm all teary-eyed. Yeah.
Take five.
I say we take a break, get some pictures, 5 minutes. I'll hit it again.
No, I'm gonna go think that you, that, yeah.
Like to call the Tuesday, March 5th, 2024 meeting back to order.
Put on the record that I'm here.
Uh, Janice, when you get a minute, can you put on record that Council Vice Mayor Ratton arrived? I don't know what time you got here.
It was
6:15.
6:10. I already got it. Thank you.
Oh, okay. Hey. Okay, item number E, we're going to open up to public comment for any item that is not on the agenda.
Hi, I'm David Anderson. Had a PRA request going back to November 20th. It was fulfilled last Friday. I received 4,434 pages of stuff that I didn't request. That's a problem. That I'm presuming took a considerable amount of effort to prepare. And since it's not material I asked for, I would be surprised if the city pays for that.
You paid. for it.
Additionally, of the material I requested, there was possibly one page out of 4,434 that may have been relevant. And it was Mr. Atlan admitting that the only correspondence with CDCR was his Cal Careers application, which sort of implies perhaps you work for CDCR. Additionally, since there was an email that you've admitted to, I can't understand why that wasn't part of the packet. Outside of that, I have thousands of pages of worthless information. And then one other point, which I don't want to belabor it because I think it's part of an informational ad from Mr. Panasco. The 10-day limit for PRA requests includes when that's going to be fulfilled, not just whether the records are available and responsive, but when they're going to be provided. That can be extended 14 days, but under no circumstance can be extended telling me when I was going to receive the record. And in this case, that never happened. I never got an indication of when the records were going to be provided. So, thank you.
Thank you, Dave. Any other public comment?
Just wanted to add on to the congratulations that were awarded by the chief to the officers who helped with the terrible stabbing event. One more police officer we have who worked very, very hard with that investigation, including visiting the autopsy lab. And we need to say thanks to him, our chief, John.
Thank you, Greg. Janice, do we have anybody on Zoom for public comment? Do they raise their hand or something? No? Okay, close. I just like to bang this thing. Close public comment. We'll move on to item F. Information only, no action to be taken.
Actually, I'd like to pull this. Actually, I'd like it revised. I don't know if I had marbles in my mouth last meeting or not, but what I had asked for was how many PRAs we'd received in the last 6 months, how many were outstanding, and who is responsible for fulfilling the PRAs and reviewing them. This is fine, this is great, but this is only a sample or a part of what I had asked for. So if we can take this and add to it the additional information that I had asked for, I would have that, and bring it back to the next meeting, that would be fantastic.
So I believe that staff can help with that. So Janice is the one that that receives all of those, and like, would that be an issue to be able to?
Or it doesn't have to be next
Alright.
meeting, whenever it's possible, that's fine. Not 6 months from now, however.
Understood.
Are there details that you want in this? So it's a one and done?
How many we've received in the last 6 months? How many do we have outstanding of those of that 6 months? And, I assume it's the clerk that is, but I'm not going to assume anything. That the clerk is the one who obtains the records. How many and who is reviewing those records prior to releasing them?
So I can answer the last piece, or maybe the last half, maybe the statistic says that'll have to come back, but since I've been here, when public records requests come in, they come in through Janice. Janice will then reach out to all of the different department heads, gather the records that are any way, shape or form responsive. So for most public records requests, you're going to get records that are not responsive to what you're asking for because you're asking for a broad net. If there's any question as to whether or not that record is exempt from disclosure, Janice will reach out to me. I'll review. I'll give her, what my comments are with regard to whether there's an exemption to disclosure, and give advice as to how to communicate that to the requester.
So you're not reviewing all of them, you're only reviewing those that are brought to you?
I'm reviewing most, if not all. There's not a terrible amount of them, and then Janice here has been sending to me when she's going to be disclosing something, asking, is there anything exempt from them? And if it's a smaller request, anywhere in the neighborhood of like 1 to 100 documents, it's really quick because that's really easy to go through. When it's thousands of documents, it takes a little bit of extra time. And as far as the city's obligation, Mr. Anderson brings up the 10-day issue. 10 days the city has is to provide a response to them. Or do we have the records, whether they're exempt or not? In this last large batch, we did probably exceed that time because it did take a lot of time to go through that. And for that, we should probably be a little bit more communicative on our end. And we're going to work to do that. But as far as disclosing, then it comes to be, the standard is, promptly. So what we try and be as prompt as possible, but we had some issues with the getting that large amount of documents transferred from, when you send large batches, it's difficult to transfer electronically. So we had initial issues at the outset. But we're in the process of fixing those.
And we are only providing records that are within the custody of the city.
That's correct. So the definition of a public record is a record that's kept in the normal course of the city's business. So those are going to be records that we have either on hand or a record that is kept normally in the course of business. There's some records that may be destroyed. And those would be, that all goes back to our document retention policy.
Mhm.
There's some records that live forever that cannot be destroyed, such as ordinances, minutes, agendas, things of that nature.
Okay,
So did you ask for this to be tabled?
I asked for it to be brought back with additional information.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, can I get an approval of the consent calendar?
I'll move to approve the consent calendar.
Second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, moving on to the regular agenda, council member training recommendation for information only. Item number 2, I would like to table and move to March 16th. Is that the next council, 19th? Okay. Mr. City Attorney?
I received messaging from, multiple council members regarding the item H1. And I just wanted to,
For
express
information
my,
only.
yeah, as it's informational, but express what my intent was. I was intending to bring to you what I thought was going to be what you were looking for.
Right.
But it obviously was not. So as we go forward, if there's specific items that we want to, encounter, I think I'll try and do on my part, walking out of here, to understand what you all are thinking about and what you desire. And then I just ask that we try and narrow it into specific topics and items. And I'll try and do a better job of reiterating to you so that when I do bring something back, it is what the council is looking for.
Thought I saw mind reader on your.
Well,
I do my best.
I will say that this training is great.
It is.
And but we've just had this training less than 6 months ago, give or take. And when I mentioned this at the last meeting, my intent was to have this kind of training for the committees and the commission, along with the Brown Act training, and apparently the ethics training is now due as well, I assume for them as well. So that they are aware of all of this as well, especially the Brown Act training and the ethics trainings. I don't know that our new commissioners are as aware of their responsibilities that they have as far as the Brown Act is concerned and those kind of things. So yeah, this is great. You want to give this to the commissioners, great. But they also need the additional Brown Act and the ethics training as well.
I have nothing more to report.
Okay, thank you. I think we are going to move to closed session.
Nope.
Is there more? Did I miss something?
Reports from city manager. And reports from city.
Do we want to
clerk.
do all of this first and then? Okay. All right. Item I, reports and communications from city attorney.
That
That was
my-
it? Okay. Reports and communication from city manager.
I have nothing to report.
Okay. Council comments, committee reports, future agenda items. Mr. Atlan?
Yeah, I just want to make a comment about the PRAs. First of all, I want to say, I don't know what Mr. Anderson's problem is, but he's clearly got one. I was asked to produce the documents. I don't know how 4,000 pages came, but I was asked to produce correspondence between myself and CDCR, of which there has been 0 except for what they sent to all the council. But because I'm such an honest guy, I disclosed that I had actually applied for a job at CDCR on my own time, not as a council person, but just as a regular citizen. And I'd applied for jobs in a whole bunch of different places. Okay. And I thought, you know what, I'm going to just say that because, going to be totally upfront that you're not going to dig it up later on that, oh, well, he applied for a job. Yeah, I did. So I disclosed that. And then for Mr. Anderson to jump to the conclusion that he has that, oh, so therefore you must work for them. I mean, I wish that I worked for every single job that I'd applied for. I mean, that would be really nice. It just doesn't work that way. Mr. Anderson obviously has a problem with CDCR. He claims he got ill and I don't know why he didn't get paid off, but that's his business. But for him to say, I have an email address, I work for CDCR, I applied for a job, I work for CDCR. If I worked for CDCR, then I would tell you that I work for CDCR, okay? It's that simple. I don't work for CDCR. So having said that, I also put in a PRA at the same time that Mr. Anderson did. I still haven't got mine yet, and that's fine. There was a lot of documents, but just saying that you weren't the only one that was waiting for your PRA to be fulfilled. And that's all I have to say. Thank you.
Councilmember Allen,
Yeah.
would you like to report on the Parks and Rec?
Oh, yeah, the Parks and Rec. I forgot my notes, sorry. So we had a Parks and Rec meeting and it went very well. They discussed the dog parks, the doggy poop bins mostly, And that is going to go back for some more study. It was very well done. And there's a few things they'd like to do down the road with regards to, they did talk about the horse arena and getting a committee. They'd asked for that. So I'd like to see that occur. But it was very well, we had the presentation from the new parks coordinator and that was well received. So they are recruiting lifeguards and various bodies that they need to run the programs. And I believe it's on the city website. It's on the parks. I think it's on the school websites as well. So there's various websites. If you're looking, or if you have some kids that are looking for a job, then please get a hold of the coordinator and she'll be able to point you in the right direction. And I think that was it. Adopt a Park, yeah. So there was Adopt a Park. They're going to reinstate the Adopt a Park. And that was approved by the council in the past, but it's going to come back. So apologies, I left my notes at home. So that was it. All right, great. Thank you.
And lifeguard is a great job for any kids that are, 15 to 18. So if you know any, have them apply. And take them all the way through college.
We are going to be doing the training
Yeah,
in-house.
and it's going to be trained here. So it's awesome. I don't have- That was my comment.
Oh, okay. Councilman Mitchell.
Attended the Charlie and Joel Memorial Walk on Saturday and reminds me of how wonderful this community is. The funds go to youth activities and it'll be an annual an event. There were a number of folks out there in the rain. It wasn't raining right away. The sun kind of shined down for a while. And I have to believe that was Charlie and Joel a little bit, but it was an amazing event. And if you missed it, it will be coming back around next year. And I strongly encourage you to participate. It's a tough thing to do, but it's also a range of emotions, but it was really something and really reminds me of just how wonderful our town is. So for those of you that were there, certainly appreciate you. And for those of you that missed it, I hope to see you there next year. As such, the Margaret Dalton Memorial Golden Acorn Awards got to honor two fabulous women, hometown heroes as well. And that was another wonderful event at Evelyn Bishop. So that's all I got. Thanks.
Well, I'll second the Golden Acorn. The food was fabulous. It was amazing. And I was privileged to present the proclamation to Christy Roots. And I thought when I left there, a couple things I wanted to say, but my brain was still in the cow pasture next door. She is the heart of Ione. We talk about heart of Amador County, that Ione is the heart of Amador County, and Christy Roots, just the speeches everybody was giving about her. And her office is such a hub in this town for everybody. And we're just lucky to have her and Kim. But yeah, the food was, I wanted to stay. I'm really pleased. The memorial bench thing is just touching. I'm sure the Owens family is going to be very, very grateful. Any update? Because I really missed it this weekend on the tractor for the arena, because I had to move 27 250-pound panels by myself and another lady.
Yes, Ken is working on that. He has been trying to reach out to additional people and he hasn't got responses. And so that's what's the holdup has been.
You're not responding?
So he hasn't been able to make a lot of contact for the lease option. That's what he's been working on.
Okay. Let me see. Economic Development Committee coming in the future.
Yes.
Great. And I think that's it.
Session.
No, I know, I'm just thinking, do you think we'll have the memorial bench on the next agenda?
Yes.
Informal policy. Okay, great. All right, that's it. Okay, we're going to resume to closed session. You
Gotta read it
Oh, here we go. It's in the front.
and then ask for public comment.
Closed session is Public Employee Appointment, Government Code 54957, Title City Manager. Conference with Labor Negotiators, Government Code 54957.6, Agency Representative, Legal Counsel, Unrepresented Employee, City Manager. A conference with legal counsel and anticipated litigation, significant exposure to litigation pursuant to paragraph 2 of subdivision D of Government Code, section 54956.91 case. And I will open that up to public comment. Seeing none, hearing none. Any on Zoom, Janice? No? Okay. We'll resume to closed session. Carl,
Sure.
I have extra.
I mean, it's like.
Well, you're not supposed to, but this might be an exception. Yeah, this is my weapon. So when I come out of my, when I come out of my office, when it's dark outside and I'm the only car in the parking lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have to. I think.